Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a nursing student here at LaGuardia Community College, Rebecca Ramos. New York State Assembly Member Alicia Heineman. President of LaGuardia Community College, Kenneth Adams. And now, please rise and welcome the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
All right. Good morning. Oh my goodness, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us here at LaGuardia Community College in beautiful Long Island City, Queens for today's rally in support of free community college. I love saying that. I want to take a moment to thank our CUNY Board of Trustees Chair, Bill Thompson, who is here. Yes. Vice Chair, Sandra Wilkins, Angela Vivolo, and staff from the CUNY Central Office that are here. Thank you all very much for joining us. I have to do a quick thank you to my fellow CUNY Community College presidents, Christine Mangina from Queensborough Community College, all the way in Bayside, and all the way from the Bronx, Larry Johnson, new president of Bronx Community College. Thank you. Community colleges are playing an increasingly vital role by providing affordable pathways to higher education, specialized training, support services, ultimately acting as springboards to success for various careers. And across New York State, there are more than 4 million working-age adults who don't have a college degree or professional credential. More must be done to help these New Yorkers compete in high-demand fields like nursing, and teaching, technology, engineering. Today's rally heightens the importance of community colleges in our city and state as valuable resources offering accessible and affordable pathways to higher education and workforce development. Programs like CUNY Reconnect and other state-funded initiatives provide financial and academic support tailored to the needs of adult learners who are looking to improve their socioeconomic mobility. For many adults, returning to college in New York City after an extended break can offer significant benefits, including enhanced career prospects, access to a diverse and dynamic environment, and specialized support programs for adult learners. With more specialized jobs on the horizon, having free community college enables students to obtain the skills they need to compete in New York's evolving economy. All across our state, community colleges are powerful drivers of economic and social advancement. And I note there are 7 CUNY community colleges and 30 SUNY community colleges. So really talking about a vast network of 37 incredible institutions. Free community college will open doors for New Yorkers pursuing degrees in high-demand fields. And as president of LaGuardia Community College, I'm proud to support this initiative, which addresses the needs of both adult learners and employers all across the state. The Free Community College Initiative opens doors for every working adult in New York and reinforces our shared mission. As public institutions of higher education, student success is our top priority. New York is on the rise, driving progress, opening doors, and shaping a brighter future in every community across our state. It is my privilege to welcome the visionary leader whose dedication and courage are propelling us ever forward. Do it again, put your hands together, make lots of noise for our incredible Governor, Kathy Hochul. My pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Let's do a microphone. All right, we got a microphone. I've got a microphone because I'm moving around a little bit, but I'm so excited to be here. I cannot tell you. This is a dream come true for me as well. To all of you, starting with the leadership we have, Chancellor Matos Rodriguez, what an extraordinary leader. And I want to thank you for helping drive change in our community colleges here in the city, and also an inspiration for many others across the state. And I know you have some good news to tell us about, perhaps enrollment's going up. Okay, enrollment's going up. That's all I need to hear. There cannot be a greater leader of this institution than Ken Adams, who is the word he himself uses, but I see it in his face, the passion he has for investing and supporting all the students who come to these doors to make sure they have a world-class education and prepared for the careers of today and tomorrow. Let's give another round of applause to our president. Assemblymember Hyman, you'll be hearing from her in a couple of minutes. I want to thank her for her incredible support of this program as well, and all the members of the legislature, Carl Heastie, our speaker, Andrea Stewart Cousins, as well, the leader of the Senate. We also have a nursing student, Rebecca Ramos. She'll be hearing her story about what this means for her. All the members of the family, the trustees, Bill Thompson, Sandra Wilkin, Vice Chair, and all of you show up, and all of our community college presidents. But let me tell you why this is a personal journey for me. Every summer, since I've been governor, we start thinking about our policies that we want to talk about the next spring when the governor announces her State of the State address. And as I made a trip back home to Buffalo, to the little trailer park where my parents once lived, I stopped in the diner nearby, and I saw a lot of people and their families who never got out of that trailer park. They still live there in the shadow of the Bethlehem steel plant. It is shuttered now. 20,000 people lost their jobs. But there was a time when my grandfather couldn't find any other work, an Irish immigrant. The doors were closed when he arrived here as a teenager with my grandmother, two young people in search of a better life, like all the immigrants who come here, looking for that better life. Grandpa had to become a migrant farm worker in the wheat fields of South Dakota because nobody would hire the Irish. The signs literally said, Irish need not apply. He found his way as domestic servants in Chicago. He and Grandma worked hard and finally found his way to the promised land of Buffalo, New York, and got a job at the steel plant. And his eldest son, my dad, joined him there doing that hard, dirty work in those mines where you see how hard they work. They'd come home at the end of the day just covered in grit. But my father believed in himself that he could do better for his young wife, my mom, my older brother, a year older than me. And with that little life that lived in the trailer park, he decided to go to college. And it was hard because Mom had to raise the baby in the trailer park. She was very pregnant with me. A lot more babies to come. We were Irish, as I mentioned. But Dad worked hard by day, got a college degree at night. And when he got that degree, it was like a ticket because all of a sudden he was employable. People would help him find another job. And he worked his way, able to leave the factory, work in the offices for a while, worked in an office. Like, he was so proud of that. And eventually took an incredible risk, joined a couple of other guys back in the 1960s, 3 other guys, starting a technology company where computers were the size of this room. What a different world that was. And people said, Jackie, you're nuts. What are you doing leaving Bethlehem Steel? Those jobs are secure. They'll be there forever. What is this little computer thing called? What are you doing? You've got 6 kids. How are you going to feed them? But my dad had that drive and that passion. And as a result, they ended up being very successful. But they always went back to that trailer park. We always go back to Francile's ice cream around the corner. And I'll never forget where I came from and the power of education to transform not just their lives, but the lives of their children and their children's children. That's what today is all about. That's what today, why this matters to me. So, back to the idea, I said, how can we make community college more accessible, more affordable for people? Because people struggle. I mean, so many have to work part-time jobs, and number one, Tuition assistance, it didn't keep up with the times. The TAP program, we doubled it, so it went from $500 to $1,000 with the support of the legislature. We also made it available. I'm like, wait a minute, so many people have kids at home, single parents, have to have a part-time job. They weren't able to get tuition assistance through the TAP program unless they were full-time workers. That made no sense to me at all. It is now available for part-time workers to give them that lift up. But I'm also looking at the jobs that I'm working so hard to bring here to New York. The green energy jobs of the future, advanced manufacturing, good paying jobs. Nursing skills, we are desperate. Since the pandemic, we've had this enormous shortage of nursing skills. I have professions and employers all over the state of New York looking for workers. So we put two and two together. How can we fill those needs of our employers to get them the educated workers they need, but also lift more families like my own up through the power of education when it is so out of reach for many? We said, for people who are adults, 25, which still sounds kind of young to me, but adults, 25 to 55, they want to rethink about where they are. Some maybe even never went to any education. That's fine. But they're trying to figure out, like, now I want to be part of the workforce. How do I get there? We opened up free community college for 25 to 55-year-olds to give them a whole new lease on life. And this just passed in the spring with our budget. It's a couple weeks late, but who cares? Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. Who's hung up on deadlines? The press is going to eat that up. Just since we started getting the word out, just since a few months ago when this became the law of New York State, we have over 16,000 people who've already signed up for this, and these are the lives that we're going to be changing forever. So I'm going to keep doing my part, focusing on families. My fight is for your family. Focusing on affordability. This is a major part of it. But also putting money back in people's pockets. I was a struggling mom myself. I had to leave a job I loved in Washington, D.C. when my baby was born. There wasn't childcare. No affordable childcare, nothing in reach. It's like my husband was working for the government. All of a sudden, we went down to one income. And I was that mom going out to the big box stores, trying to find diapers at a discount and formula. My daughter's there today with a 1-month-old. The cycle of life, right? But I never lost that sense of empathy for those young families today that have to buy the diapers, the formulas, the little outfits they grow out of every 3 months. Literally, I just bought her all these clothes. There's newborn, then 0 to 3. Like, I said, wait, what's the difference between 0 and newborn? Somebody asked somebody that question for me. But it's hard for our families. But I want them to have the same advantages that I eventually had in life. Yeah, we started buying our clothes at you clothing stores. We had to eat a lot of Spam for dinner. I know some people like it. I hated it. But through those struggles, I persevered and became stronger. My children will be stronger. People are stronger. But it shouldn't be so hard to just live here the way it is for so many families. Utility prices. And weren't we promised lower prices for everything on day one after the last election? Anybody been to a bodega grocery store lately? Tell me, have you had any prices going down? Because I'm missing something. No, didn't think so. So I'm putting more money back in people's pockets. $1,000 for families with 4-year-olds and under. It used to be 0 when I first became governor, 0, and now it's $1,000. $500 for older families. The cost of food for your kids' breakfasts and lunches. New York State is covering that cost. So no child has to be stigmatized by being that child that people say their parents don't have enough money. We remove the stigma. Let's feed our babies. Let's feed our kids. No more tummies growling in school. an inflation rebate. Why? Because more money went to the state government through sales tax because the cost of everything went up because of inflation. I said, that money doesn't belong to us. It belongs to you. Put it back in their pockets. Over $400 coming back to people. Middle class tax rate cut, the largest rate cut in 70 years. All this adds up to families, not even including this. Upwards of $5,000 to help them not just survive, but thrive. So I'm going to continue on this focus, making New York safer, more affordable, and giving people the dignity of an education which is going to open so many doors, especially for all those new jobs, and many of those careers are taught right here at LaGuardia Community College. And our other community colleges have embraced these technologies, these new jobs, because I want to welcome our young people who right now feel like they're sitting on the sidelines, not sure what the future is going to be for them. Let them know that future is bright. We can change their lives. Just walk in the door, apply for this, and your life will forever be more enriched, and your families will benefit just as mine did. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up our great Chancellor, Filos Matos Rodriguez. Mr. Chancellor.
Please, some additional love for the governor. Thank you for your great and support, and thank you not just for this incredible initiative, right? But the entire public higher ed sector has a debt of gratitude to you. There has been no governor who's been more supportive of SUNY and CUNY as governor than you have. So thank you so much for that, because it is this program, but it's the other things, all the other investments that you have made that allow us to provide these wonderful students that we have here the support that they need. Delighted to be here today, joining all of you in this pep rally. Thank you, President Adams, for allowing us to crash in LaGuardia and join in this phenomenal celebration. You acknowledge the great team at CUNY, our Board of Trustees. Chairman Thompson, thank you so much for your leadership. We can give the trustees some love, yes? The presidents, the leadership from our other community colleges, and I have the responsibility of introducing a key partner that we have in the Assembly, someone that works closely with the governor in allowing her to push programs like this through the finish line. And the governor was extremely eloquent in explaining why a program like this was needed, why she supported it, why she makes sure that in the budget dance that it was protected and that it made it to the finish line, and that thousands and thousands of New Yorkers are going to be able to benefit from this moving forward. President Adams also mentioned some of the things that make this special. I just want to add two things, and we have also a student speaker. So I'm thankful that always tough to follow the governor. It would have been extra tough to follow the governor and our student speaker, right? Because nobody can tell the CUNY story like one of our own. But I want to add two things why I think that this initiative is particularly important, and why I also proud to be part of the governor's team in a strategy that is comprehensive, right? Nobody can argue against the logic of fields that are in demand, employers that need talented staff members in cybersecurity, in nursing, in manufacturing, in green jobs, all those areas, right? The evidence is there. And we know that we have individuals that have some college, right, or no college, and are eager for the opportunities, and maybe they, because of life, could not do that at a younger moment in their life, but they're ready for it, right? And their families are ready for that investment. So that component, and to do it in a comprehensive way, tuition, books, fees, everything, right? So you come in and there's no barriers. It's very tough to argue against that in any place. Some people did, and not everybody had the governor and the team that she has behind to say we're going to prioritize this. But what the governor does with this program is also continue in her push to all of us in higher ed to connect what we're doing to the demands and the needs of all the employers in the state, right? Because what is this program going to do, right? To be able to meet that demand, we're going to have to hire more faculty. Some of that faculty will be full-time. Many others will be individuals who are in those industries, in those fields, who are going to be doing that job, and then also coming to LaGuardia, going to the Bronx, going to Ostos, going to Queensboro to teach because they have the particular expertise. So what is that going to do? The talent that CUNY has, and there is no more hungry, bright, diverse talent than what we have here at CUNY with our students. All those new faculty members are going to go back to their companies and say, I'm teaching a class at Bronx. I have to tell you, we haven't hired from that place. We have to start looking at what they're doing, right? So it's going to create the circle of partnerships that the governor has been telling us that we need to enhance in our work at CUNY and at SUNY. And what is that going to mean is also that that same faculty member is going to come back and say, you know, we need to get ahead of the curve. We should have a few paid internships so we start getting some of those students early into our company, and I have less recruitment expenses because I built a pipeline of talent immediately. An added benefit to all those students, right? Those new faculty members are also going to be bringing back to us the latest in the curriculum of what industry is needing. So our faculty on our campus are going to benefit from that feedback that's coming from industry that is going to transform the curriculum, that is going to give our students, when they go out there, the best opportunities to compete for the jobs. So this initiative, which, as the governor said, as Ken said, right, is a win-win for everybody, has a multiplying effect, right, that keeps advancing the goals that we all have, right, which is to have a public higher education system that is connected to the needs of the man areas in the job, right, and allows to fill those needs, give people careers and opportunities and jobs that allow them to live, get a living wage and feed their families. So a virtuous circle. The second component that I want to say why this idea is brilliant. Can I have, oh, you work with me. So, this sign, right? That sign is going to be all over the media and social media and all over. Free community college. You can go back, great to see you. We used to work together at Ostos, so that's why I picked on him, right? Great student leader. We're going to get tons of phone calls, of emails, of people asking about free community college, right? Because as you know, we try to be as comprehensive telling our story and giving the details, but people just grab the headlines, right? And that's a victory, right? Because all those phone calls are going to be folks, many hopefully will be interested in these fields. Many might not know, and we'll be able to guide them into those fields, but there might be many others who want to do other things. And the great thing, the governor mentioned the investment she's made in making TAP increase and be more flexible. So many of those phone calls, even if it's someone who is 24.7 in age, right? Or is someone who sees free community colleges and what wants to do is something else that is not in those fields. The great thing is that 75% of all the students who come to CUNY, between the support that we get from TAP and the federal Pell dollars, graduate also debt-free, right? And they come free. So many of the phone calls that we're going to be generated as a result of that sign that says free community college are only going to mean that we have more people who are going to be coming our way, and we are going to be able to meet their needs, to give them advice, to put them into careers. We're going to try to guide them into these ones, right? But if not a match, our affordability is such that they can do that. So again, the investment, the leadership of the governor pays off in making sure that We meet this specific demand, but it's also a comprehensive way to assist all of us in the state. Thank you so much, Governor, for your leadership and your support. I also want to make sure to give some love, not only because everybody who gets financial aid from the state gets a check on his name, and he's a great leader, but he's also a CUNY grad, so I get to promote the brand. Commissioner Guillermo Linares from HES, I want to give you a shout out and thank you for your leadership and for your support. And lucky me, when they assigned the new chair of the Higher Ed Committee in the Assembly, right? Whenever there's new leadership, all of us are always concerned about who's going to be in those roles because they're key partners to all of us in the work that we do. And we hit the jackpot when Speaker Heastie named Alicia Hyman to chair the Higher Education Committee. I had the joy of working with her very closely in a previous life when I was the president at Queens College, and know about her commitment to education. She is almost perfect. She got her degree with SUNY, and we love SUNY, right? But she understands and cares about public higher education. And there's still time to get a CUNY degree. You're young, right? And that's part of the theme of this press conference, right? But we couldn't have found a better partner. Someone who understands public higher education, who is committed to the work that we've done, someone who was also had a career working with the students that we get in higher ed, that in our case, many of them come from the New York City public school system. So someone who's been dedicating her entire life to supporting education, a distinguished track record in her 9 years in the Assembly, before and always freely advocating for the interests of Queens. Now in this role, she has to extend her love to the rest of the city and the state. But please give a big round of applause to the chair of the Assembly Higher Education Committee, the wonderful Assemblywoman Alicia Hyman.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to tell you that as an undocumented kid growing up in Southside Jamaica, Queens, that my dad, who got his GED through a free program at York College, because he wanted to make sure he got his high school diploma before his daughter did, it's just a reminder of how far education can take you. So I thank the governor for putting this in the budget. A little longer process this year, but the fact that this is the standing issue that shows you where the state puts their money is back in the people of New York State. She could not have picked a better borough, the world's borough, to make this announcement, because this is what America looks like, folks. And New York State shows time and time again that we will continue to put the residents of New York State first. Everything has been said about how great this program is, but the life-changing education that individuals will now receive can change the trajectory of all of those who operate under a cap. Education opens those doors. So if only 16,500 have registered so far, can you imagine at all of the community colleges around the state how life-changing this will be? You know, my staff has a lot of notes here, but I'm not going to read them because I know they've been standing for a while. I have to say to the Board of Trustees, to my colleague Claire Valdez, that when we passed this budget and this item stayed in, I thought about all of the single moms who are now going, and single dads, who are now going to make the difference in their child's life. The story that the governor told you is like how transformative education is and how we make sure we're making an educated community to continue to take over. The jobs, it's not just about what you learn in your backyard. It's about the global economy. And so this summer and the rest of this year, I'm going to go around the state and visit our community colleges, because I know the economic engines that those small colleges are. I know the trajectory that they project for all of their students to hit those marks, and the life-changing goals that New York State continues to put into our health and our education. As a mother of 2 girls, when my youngest now is 15, and she's like, why do I have to go visit these colleges now? Because we're going to go visit colleges next week. So I'm doing a tour, but it's also about her looking at colleges. It's because I want her to realize that no matter what happens, your name on that piece of paper, no one takes it away from you. No one closes the door, because you become qualified. And can you imagine all of the individuals that get to apply for jobs because now they have the education? President Adams, you have a lot of programs here, the engineering programs, the nursing programs, and I get to introduce a nursing student to you that will tell you just how transformative it will be for New Yorkers. I can't tell you enough that it's great to have a great partner in our governor, Kathy Hochul, who has done tremendous work in right-sizing this state and making sure people recognize that this is a state to do business. We have the workforce to do this work, and she ensured it by passing this in this budget. I want to thank Speaker Hasty for his work, Speaker Cousins for the work they do in the Senate, but it has to take a partnership to make all of this shine. So I'm going to stop talking. I will decrease so I can increase. Ms. Rebecca Ramos, a nursing student here at LaGuardia Community College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rebecca Ramos. I'm 38 years old. I'm a mother of a 3-year-old girl. I'm a Venezuelan immigrant. But I'm also a nursing student here at LaGuardia Community College, Queens. The governor's program fully covers tuition, fees, books, and supplies for New Yorkers aged 25 and 55, so young adults like me, who pursues associate degrees in fields where jobs are high in demand, such as nursing, healthcare, technology, and education. This removes one of the biggest barriers for us to returning to school for mid-career adults as me and immigrants as me as well, many of whom we're struggling with family, jobs, responsibilities. By focusing on fast-growing fields like healthcare, advanced manufacturing, cybersecurity, and green energy, the program directly links to us, to students, careers where employers are urgently hiring. For students like me in nursing, this means graduating with skills that are needed right now in New York's hospitals and health systems. The governor's plan to invest in New York workforce ensures we have the talent to fill future jobs and fuel state's economic growth. It helps build a skilled and diverse workforce, elevating entire community by expanding opportunities to historically underserved groups. This initiative is not just about individual opportunities, it's about empowering New York adults, people like me, to pursue meaningful, well-paying careers and to help build a strong and more resilient state. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, CUNY, and thank you, LaGuardia Community College.
Thank you all very much. If you could please remain seated, we're going to do a quick round of photos. If the speaking program and elected officials could go to the stage, please.